So we found out that, well, according to, dirt sheets, whatever, Roman is sorry, it's because she steps on my wire and then she pulls out the
She
thing.
looks like she's stepping on everything,
Yeah,
Sarah.
she's on
Really?
my lap. I have my John Cena blanket on my lap, and she loves like
John
those
Cena?
really really soft blankets.
Oh, I mean, who
Like
doesn't?
needs on it, you know. Anyway, so the dirt sheets are saying that Roman is supposed to be coming back around SummerSlam. And SummerSlam is at the beginning of August. So it's a lot earlier than it is normally. And they're not, it hasn't been said like in what capacity, but you assume he's going to come back to seek revenge on Seth Rollins, which makes it feel like even more that Seth is going to win the title. Maybe he's going to cash in on Cena or something. Because I mean, why else would he be coming back at SummerSlam, But we also found out that Roman was just cast in a movie that is allegedly going to start filming at the end of August. So people had a lot of reactions, including me, that, these constant Roman Reigns returns thing is getting old and it's annoying. And that isn't even from some, people who aren't even haters of Roman or something. Even they're getting sick of it. I think even some Roman fans might be like, all right, like, what are we doing? Because I feel like at this point, it's, if he wants to spend time with his family, he's totally entitled to do that. If he wants to go to Hollywood, totally fine to do that. If you want to be a part-timer, can we just like accept that and like make that known that you're just a part-timer now and you're just going to show up like 3 times a year? Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't like this idea that right now he's kind of being treated as if he's an attraction. It's not the same the way that like the Undertaker would show up for just WrestleMania. Like it doesn't have the same vibe to me. So I was getting ripped because I was just saying, like, this is tiresome. How many returns does one person need? Like, but the bigger issue for me, which we kind of talked about before we went live, is like people can have their opinion about him coming and going as much as they want. They can feel one way or another. I don't love it, but I don't love it beyond just being like, oh, here we go again. We're gonna have 3 weeks of Roman's returning now. Like, it's beyond that. My frustration comes with how his continued absences impact storylines that he's involved in. That's the problem that I have, because like I said to you earlier, him leaving after WrestleMania 40 makes sense for a little bit, because it's like, yeah, he lost the title after having it for nearly 4 years. Like, of course he's gonna dip for a little bit, but not coming back until basically SummerSlam, which I believe that's when he came back, it really took the train of Solo Sikoa being the next tribal chief like off the tracks. It just like we needed to see more of those interactions much sooner than at SummerSlam. And I think that's, then him coming and going even after that, it impacted Solo's growth in that character so much, and that's why we're not even doing it anymore. I would say the same thing about him leaving WrestleMania this year. There's no reason for him to still be gone, because the same thing that happened to him happened to CM Punk. So Paul Heyman turned on CM Punk and turned on Roman. They got beat up the same by Seth. Punk's been back for what? Was he gone for like a week or 2 or something after Mania, and he was back? It's like it doesn't match up. So that's the reason why it bothers me even more, because I feel it's not fair to those people. It's not fair that Solo couldn't have a thriving character arc as the tribal chief, because it probably would have been better if Roman was around. It's not fair that we still haven't seen the result of Paul Heyman turning on Roman because Roman hasn't been around. It's like, and a lot of people don't even care about it anymore. You almost forget that it happened because they're not really doing anything about it with Punk anymore. And we haven't addressed the bigger elephant in the room, which is turning on Roman. So
yeah, I feel like you're not, my view of it in that is that that story doesn't need to be told right now because Seth is in the Money in the Bank and
But
title,
see,
and CM Punk is fighting for the title. So
I
once
would
they come back
argue.
from that, that's when they're gonna go right back for it.
But see, this is what I would argue because uh, this is something I was going to say, but we can talk about now. So
Okay, cool.
this is
Alright.
a reason why I say that I think it would be better had he returned, because even if Seth is going to be Money in the Bank winner and whatever, and we can pick it up. And I'm not saying that this is not a feud that couldn't be good, him versus Roman. It's going to be good, right? But people are already complaining, and I get it. They're fickle, especially the ones that are online. We've talked about this so many times.
IWC is the
But
worst.
an overwhelming feeling apparently by online fans is that they are not buying this Seth Rollins Paul Heyman pairing. They feel like they don't have any chemistry, whatever. And however you feel about that, it is what it is. But I do think that people would be buying more into it, or it would come off more believable for people if Roman were there, because we would see the strain between him and Paul. We would see the ongoing torment between him and Seth. Like, it would be easy to believe this pairing of Seth and Paul if Roman were around, in my opinion. And so that's why I feel like, even if it wasn't this, because that could have been something that was their match at SummerSlam. We could have seen Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. That is obviously like a Mania style match, but you could still revisit that if Seth became champion because he's Money in the Bank winner. You could all make that a thing. So I don't know. It's just I feel like his absences go beyond just being annoying because he comes and goes. I think is his negative impact on storylines and people who need his rub, like with like Solo Sokoa, like that's not fair.